Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 80 of the Yarnivore Podcast. I am Sadie, I am your hostess, and I am slightly ill, so I'm going to rub my eyes a lot, and I'm going to drink a lot of coffee, and I might sound a little rough. But that is just how it goes. Tis the season to get sick. Right, I have two things I finished, and by two things I mean a pair of socks and something else. Oh, let's start with the start, shall we? I am wearing this is a Ella Torrente pattern out of handspun. It doesn't have a join. I think I'm going to add like a double button or something here, or a clasp maybe, or I don't know. It's comfy though, it's warm, and it's cold in this room, so yay. I forget what it's called. I know it's by Ella Torrente, who is Modish Knits, and it's Martini, something Dirty Martini, possibly something Martini. And I bought a bunch of her patterns at once, and subsequently, yeah, you'll see. First things first, my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks for 2017's December, making me completed with the task, are done. You'll notice there are different heels. I decided to do Fish Lips Kiss heels, and I just pulled from the end of the skein because I didn't actually care at that point. I just wanted them to be done without having to do an afterthought, so that's what I did. The rest is the pinstripe pattern, which I looked up for Orietta, and I don't remember who it's by. But if you put in pinstripe, it's pin, one word, second word stripe, third word socks, into the Ravelry search is the first one that comes up and it's free. And again, slip 1, knit 7, slip 1, knit 7 all the way across, knit 1 round. I believe she calls for an afterthought heel in this. I did the Fish Lips Kiss. Usually I do an afterthought, and I love them. This is the War of the Worlds colorway. It's on the Viso base, which is a 75-25 nylon, superwash nylon. Superwash merino / nylon. Superwash nylon. It could be superwash nylon as well. And I used a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, which is what I use for myself all the time. These, of course, are for me. I have enough left over that I will probably do Turkish bed socks with Clever Chook's Bahini Wocket modifications so that I don't have to do all the seaming, because who wants to do all the seaming? I don't. You don't, I don't. So these are done, and these are pair 12, and next year it's happening. If you go to the Desert Vista Dyeworks group on Ravelry, she started the thread which gives you all of the information on and all of the rules, etc., etc. So looking forward to year 4. Year 3, it's a wrap. And I didn't do 2 or 1. I just didn't. And who knows if I'll make it through year 4, but I'm going to try. The other thing I finished, which is a feat, is the Marco Polo cardigan, who is also by Ella Torrente. Modish Knits. Modish Knits? Modish Knits. Modishknits. On Ravelry. And this pattern has been knit by many people. Mine looks like this. Mine looks like this. It is not yet blocked. I suppose I could put it on. Do you want me to put it on? I'll put it on. Pardon my pajama pants going on here. I put on a bra for y'all. I feel that is... should I just over my head? Let's just go over the head so I don't have... There's 7 buttons. And I lucked out in that I had 7 buttons I liked. I did modify the hands. The hands have this like short row shaping that go so that they go over your hands, and I didn't like that. So I just knit stripes until I was done, until I had enough of it, and then I decided to do ribbing. I think I extended the ribbing on the hands as well, because that's who I am as a person. And there are certain things that are going to block out right now. Right now the arms need to be lengthened a little. I did the seamed sleeve, where you do a 3-needle bind off down the thing to have your seam. And I like it that way. I really like it. I like the aesthetic of it. And like this is gonna sit better once it's blocked. The sleeves are actually contiguous, so you don't set, like there's no seam here. You knit all that. So it's really nice in that regard. It can be a bit finicky when you're doing this part and getting them ready, but it's well worth it, I think, my opinion here. And so here it is in all of its glory. And I'll do a little turn here. I'll move my chair back so I can give you a full turn here. There. And it's got this, let's see if I hold it up, will it show you? It's got a sloof, where it goes like that in the front and back. So you've got kind of like a little thing going on. But yeah, it just needs a little blocking to help the ribbing lay flatter, just to give it a little bit more. But yeah, it's very comfy, cozy. I like it. I knit the size that was called for my size. I do believe she said to go up, or to add in 2 to 5 inches of positive ease. So I believe I went the one higher than the one lower because I was between. Let me just take this off. The one higher than the one lower, so that I had the positive ease I needed. Put on the other one. I also have a couple other of her patterns, and I really enjoy that. This one that I'm wearing, the Dirty Martini, came out small, but I think that was my fault because I think I should have been better at gauge, because it was actually supposed to be like all the way over here, and like it's supposed to look a little bit different if you see it in the project pages, and I like mine just fine, but I can tell that it came out small where it shouldn't have, because I did go up the size, or I thought I did. Maybe I was just having some body dysmorphia. So let's see if I can show you here now. See, the ribbing is rolling up a bit even though I went down a needle size. So yeah, you can kind of see it. There's short row shaping in there to give you the foof. And yeah, so for this this is a sport weight, so I used the purple. Is Soft Like Kittens Burnished Sport. I'm sorry you can't get it anymore. I suck as a human being. In the Musket colorway. And then the gray is Siren Sport by Knitter's Nightmare in the Grey Havens colorway, which I love. I need to dye more of that. I need to dye more. Now that hubby's home, I should be able to without like too much. There's a lot of moving parts, and I've got 2 new pets to acclimatize. The dog is sleeping in the living room, and the cat is sleeping in the bedroom. So we probably won't see them. Right, so I finished 2 things. There were 2 really big things. The buttons I got on a clearance at Pacific Fabrics, I believe was where I got them on clearance. I love Pacific Fabrics. If you're in the area, they've got 4 locations. There's the Bremerton, there's Soto, Bellevue, and there's another one. Either way, lots of locations, love them. I buy a lot of stuff there. They have yarn, but they have a lot of fabrics, and they have some pretty cool exclusive stuff, and I probably will pick up some of the Washington stuff because we've decided that Washington is our favorite state in the United States. And yeah, so I finished the Marco Polo cardigan last night. All the ends, there were 2 ends for each color change, and there are color changes galore. And down the arms, same thing. So that took a while, and then I had to put the buttons in, and I hate putting, usually, Scout's honor, usually I will like leave crap until my mom visits, because she will sew the buttons on, because I hate sewing buttons on things. And didn't feel like waiting till she comes to visit. So yeah, sewed the buttons on. Now it just needs to be blocked. That's going to take a while, so I might wait till next week. Not sure. Not 100% sure. I know. Oh, and for anyone wondering, I did get the surgery date for my gallbladder. It'll be coming out on June 23rd, or not June, January 23rd. So don't expect me to be around much at the end of January. I will probably be in recovery and may not have a lot of knitting to show you. Something that did get a little bit of work was the mitered square blanket. It got another square. This one, super bright, cute one right here. And I want to work on it more. So basically, I have it sitting right here. But then okay, here's the downside. You want to do too many things. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me who's like, I need to do all the things and I need to do them right now. Now is when the things must be done. So, like, say I have my leftovers from War of the Worlds, right? And I look at it and I go, I can put one in there. And then I'm like, oh, but I want to make Mom a pair of Turkish bed socks first. So I will probably end up making the Turkish bed socks, then putting a square on my mitered square blanket. Or I'll just go, I'm just going to forget about that. And then I'll pick up a small one, this lovely one from Annette, and put it in. Hello, Sassy. How are you, sausage? Are you coming to say hi? Yes, she's very snorty, which is adorable. Hi. No, you can't come up. I'm recording a podcast. I know. Life is just so hard as a sausage. Go down. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm still working on it, and it's kind of nice right now because it's starting to get cold. And by starting to get cold, I mean, let's all laugh at me that I just said it was cold. It's -2. It gets down to -2 overnight, and I'm saying it's cold. Like, there are Canadians who are wearing shorts with no top, like men, and then girls who are in tank tops and friggin' short shorts at -1, -2. So, I'm clearly acclimatized to the Pacific Northwest, and half of Canada is currently laughing at me. I'm okay with that. That's getting some work on it. I would love to work on it more. I'm just kind of, I'm all over the place right now. In my Fat Squirrel Fibers sock bag, I have 2 sock size bags, and they are really only good for socks. There's a good thing I knit a lot of socks, right? And this one has kitties. I love these kitties. Side note, if you follow Nekozuki, is it Nekozuki? She's from Alberta. She goes to Japan a lot. She makes a lot of bags. There's cute kitty bags. You should go check them out. Anywho, okay. These have been on the needles for forever because they're socks that aren't Desert Vista Dye Works, and that tends to be put at this, like, I have to finish my DVD socks before I can start other socks. So I finished this one, like, I don't remember when. But here's the first one. And they are super tiny because they're from my mommy. And my mommy loves the Croy, and she likes a gusset. So, like, this is, like, she's a 7.5. She's a 7 wide, so she wears a 7.5. But either way, like, that's not very big. And she doesn't like them super long. And I accidentally made the ribbing too long because I was at coffee, and I just kept ribbing, and I forgot about the fact that I didn't have to rib the entire sock. So the first sock has been done for a while. It is Patton's Croy socks in the Mexicala Stripes colorway, 75% washable wool, 25% nylon. It looks like that in the skein. Ball, Hank, whatever. And so I started the second one. Well, my husband was napping the other day. He was napping, so I decided I was going to watch, was it yesterday or the day before? Either way, the new Schnuffeltier, the Passionate Spinner podcast. And so I did, and I ribbed, and then I got to the knitting part. Yay! Because I want these to be done before the end of the year so that they don't get carried over. And because I'm currently not knitting a Desert Vista Dye Works sock, this has possibilities. And basically I've told myself I'm not allowed to start anything unless it's a mitered square until the new year. Why, you may ask? Because I'm friggin' crazy, and because I want to finish things in my whip basket. So that's where I'm at. I'm using a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, which is giving it a really sturdy fabric. Usually I go up to a 2.5 on these, but just because of how like, look at how, like, these are hardcore stitch. It stands up on its own, is what I'm saying. But that's what she likes, and it gets down to -30 Celsius with a wind chill there, so I want her feet to be well warm. and that is why I'm doing that. So I have hope that these will get finished. I don't think that's too much to ask for in terms of things done. So that's got some work on it after I finish my socks. And the other thing that's seen work, I have my whip basket here because I'm going to shame myself in a minute, so stay tuned. The other thing I'm working on, I didn't print out a picture for, did I? No, just the pattern, so you can't see that. It's called The Girl with the Mechanical Heart. It's by Spilly Jane, and you can get it in the Spilly Jane Mittens book, or it's sold individually. And anyone who's my friend on Ravelry may have noticed last night, I was like all about the colorwork mittens, and I tell you now, I foresee this being a thing next year. It's going to be sweaters, tops, etc. Colorwork mittens, colorwork sweaters, and socks. That's it. Just thinking. So I pulled this out, and I have been working on this for quite some time because I think it was 2 years ago when I started knitting it, and Jess was knitting hers, and she was like, "Oh, we should knit them together." And I was like, "Yes, we should." And then I completely fell off the grid. And of course, she has a lovely pair of mittens. And then again, Pam has been knitting the beautiful mittens. I've been seeing the mittens, and then Tracy's like, "Colorwork," and I'm like, "Colorwork mittens," because apparently that is how I am. That I'm just meh. That's me. It's in my Girl Cave Bags bag, and I'm doing it on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. This is the size medium. Here's what the front looks like. So when I picked these up last night, I was here. So I did all of this last night. So clearly I'm in a mood. And here's the palm side. Here's the afterthought thumb. Over here. There. Afterthought thumb. And I'm loving it, and you may notice that it is the exact same color as the Marco Polo cardigan, because it is. It's Soft Like Kittens in the noodle sock in the musket colorway, because I'm just, apparently, you know, that's who I am as a person. And I warn you now, there's a sweater that I'm using the rest of the sport in, and yeah. The other thing I'm using is Patton's Croy Socks 4-ply in the flax colorway, which is kind of a gray-brown. But it reads really gray, but it is a brown. And it's super old. It's super old. I can tell you, I remember the socks I was knitting, they were the Cubert socks from Knitty. And I screwed up the first one, and I had bought 2 skeins of this and 2 skeins of the other color, and I just threw away the sock. And then I had this skein and another skein that just kind of floated around in my stash till I used them. And so this one's finally getting used. I hope all I need is the 50-gram ball to do 2 of them, because that's all I have of this, and I'm really gonna be mad at myself if I have to track down another one. Not that I probably couldn't. I'm sure it's still the same. They've just changed their ball bands, and I can easily find some, but I wanted to use this up. And so I started knitting this mitten. Side tangent. Started knitting this mitten, and then I was like, oh, mittens, and I do want to do the cold as fuck swear, and I want to do the resistance is not futile one, and there's a couple other ones, the cupcake ones by Spilly Jane I want to do. So I have the book, and then there's another book called Doomsday Knits, which I reviewed ages ago. It's a really amazing book put out by Interweave. If you like steampunky stuff, you should totally own it. But, so my husband's like looking over my shoulder. He's like, are there any Pokemon ones? And there aren't. So if anyone wants to design, hi babies. Are you my Mew? My Mew Mew? My Mew Mew? Come on. Come say hi. Come say hi, my Mew. There aren't any, so if you design things, design some Pokemon ones. But, so he started looking at patterns, basically stole my iPad and started looking. I'm chopped liver. I'm not sure if you can tell, but in between her legs, she's very, in between her legs and then along her stomach, her prior owner, I assume, was a horrible human being, and stressed her out, and she overgroomed herself, so she was bald, and she's finally getting little peach fuzzes in, and it's so cute. But so her pantaloons are not full, and so she does look like she has some sort of issue there. So if you see her walking around and you go, what the heck, that's actually her skin. Her fur is black. Her skin, she's got gray peach fuzz starting to grow in, but it's very white down there, and that's because it's her skin. So, side tangent. Husband took my iPad and started looking, and he decided he wants a pair of the circuit mittens from the Doomsday Knits, which are by Spilly Jane. So I will probably get those up soon, because his hands get cold when he's driving to work, and even though he's got the mitered mittens, he wants something even cooler. And there are no... I said I could try and, like, because you can get the Pixel Pokemon, and I said I could probably do it, because at the back of the book for Spilly Jane Knits Mittens, there's graphing, so you can graph your own. And he's like, no, I'll just pick one. And then I said, these are the ones I have. So he looked through the ones I had, and it was between that and the traditional Cellbutivar. And I may make him Cellbutivar as well. He's like, why haven't you made your mom any? Because your mom always uses... And I was like, first of all, my mom only uses gloves, not mittens. And second of all, she loses them. She loses them so bad, she buys them in 10 packs from the dollar store. I've told her I'll make her some, but she can't lose them. And she's like, yeah, no, don't even bother. So that's where I've gotten to on the Girl with the Mechanical Heart. And those are the whips that I've been working on, but now I'm going to whip shame myself, because I want you to see what I'm going to try and finish, or what's going with me into the new year. And these things somewhat take priority. First off, let me reach in an awkward fashion. I've got the crochet blanket that will never, ever be done. Never, ever. I think I started at the yellow. Yes, I did, because I've worked up this way. I'm almost 100% sure. And this one I only work on in the winter because it's big and it's heavy, and I only work on it in like 3 color increments because my wrists get sore. But here it is. It's the Diamond Afghan pattern on Ravelry. It's free. I'm using... What am I using? Woolies, I think? Yes. Worsted Weight Woolies by Lions Brand. I believe it's 4.25 or 4.5 or 4.75 millimeter. You can see my stitches are not straight. We're fine with this. It's going to be a huge blanket to go on the... No, not in the bag, please, babe. To go on the couch. Are you trying to figure out a way in? Here. There. There's a way in for the Kaczynski. There's a way in. Yes, Mew. Yes, Mew. Here, move that up even further. How is it the dog can figure it out and you can't? You choose not to. Okay. Whatever. So moving into the bin. And I'm pretty proud of the bin. Here, let me show you my bin. This used to be overflowing. It used to be. Now it's not. Even with the 2 I'm working on. But that's also because I got 2 blankets that don't fit in here. Okay, so the one thing that is kind of on the back burner, but we're going to be going to Utah to visit the in-laws, and I might take this along just because then, like, if this is one of the... I want to take... I want to take smaller things, so I probably won't take a sweater. Probably take 2 pairs of socks and a mitten. But I should probably also take this because that might force me to work on it. And it is the Good Vibes by Nadia Chrétien-Lechen. And there's nothing wrong with the pattern. I'm just not into shawls right now. It's gorgeous, though. It's gorgeous. And it is, what am I using? 4 millimeter? 4 millimeter circular? It's in this gorgeous bag, which is from 2nd Avenue Swag, which I got from Awilda, who is adorable. And I love. Are these 4s? Yes, they're 4s. US 6. And this is as far as I've gotten. And quite frankly, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I haven't hit the lace part yet. I've got a couple of the holes in. And these are out of Knitter's Nightmare in Through Dangers Untold and Hardships Unnumbered, which are companion skeins. So they're the same colorway, but on two different bases. So Through Dangers Untold, I believe, is this one, which is on the Gothic base, which is a yak. And then Hardships Unnumbered is the same colors, but it's on the baddie base. And I just liked, I thought it should be a companion-y thing when I dyed it, and it works out really nice, and it's going to be really great in the shawl, and I might actually wear it. But I'm just not feeling shawls right now. However, if I take it with me, maybe it'll get done. But we're not going till January, so this thing is not seeing any love until the new year, probably. However, I have everything marked. I have the pattern printed, which is a lot better than I'm doing for other things. Okay, so there's this guy. The good vibe shawl. I'm going to set you up here for now. Maybe, unless you're going to like ball. Okay, and then I love this bag. It was a gift, and it's reversible, and it's awesome, and it should be getting more use than it is, because The Adrift by Carol Feller. I still want it. I will still finish it. It is on, okay, you're Chiagu, so you should tell me what you are. US 6 4mm needle, which is apparently everything I'm working with right now is either 3.5 or 4. I did separate for the sleeves. This thing is massive. So there's the sleeves. Or rather, here's a sleeve, and here's a sleeve, and it officially matches my hair-ish right now. I know I'm fading out to orange, but whatever. It's red. It's called One Ruby Slipper, I believe. One Red Shoe, sorry. One Red Shoe, and it's Anzula Wash My Lace Lace Weight, Superwash Merino. I've had it forever, and by forever I mean I bought it in Chicago when I was on a trip to hang out with my friend Lily, who is my bridesmaid, who's my home slice, my girl. She's my girl. And I've gotten somewhere, but it's never ending stockinette in lace weight. So let's just call it what it is and say that this is probably not going to get any love until the summer when that's all I can knit. Because the rows are for forever. Although maybe I should take this one. Maybe these two should go with me to Utah, because this would be really good for flying. Okay, so there's that. And then the last thing in my whip bag, there is also a pair of Twisted Flower or whatever? It's a flower sock pattern by Cookie A. It's not the Gothic Spire, it's the other one that's ridiculous. And I have one sock done, and the other sock is not done. And they are so old that they are not in my whip basket. They're not even allowed to be like seeing the light of day. They're in the bottom. In there. Under things. Because I don't want to acknowledge that I even did that. I just don't. But I should finish that. Maybe I'll pull that out this year. And then the last thing in my gorgeous Schnuffeltier bag, she's going to be having a big update in January, maybe? Go watch her podcast and find out. And I'm looking forward to it. Just saying. I think she showed, like, was it? There were a couple bags she showed, and I was like, oh, I should go see if they're still there. And she's like, the update is not until January or something. And I was like, oh, okay. I will make a mental note. As you can see, the mental note didn't work very well, but I can always poke her. So this is the Winter Wheat, which I love, which I dyed yarn for. And I think the downfall was that I burnt myself out with the huge, long, flappy flap you start with. So I've separated for the arms. I'm on the body. It's not easy to show you right now because it's so weird in construction. But I really do want to finish this one because it's a cardigan, and I do love cardigans. So there's the body in the back. The body in the back. And it just has a couple buttons for closures. It's out of Knitter's Nightmare. This is the Run Through the Jungle, Toxic, Undertow, and Old Leaves colorways. The purple in between is True Love by Volmaiza, which is not me. And I believe these are 4s. I believe. I don't know. I'm singing a song and I don't even know which song it is. I'm going to say they're 4s because that's my life right now. And I haven't printed out the pattern, which is partially why it's not getting any love, because what I have discovered is me and my husband, we tend to sit there on the couch together with the pets, and he'll be playing a game and I'll watch something on my iPad, be it a podcast or catching up on TYT or what have you. And so that's where my pattern is, so I don't work on it. And so when we're watching TV, we just finished watching the Worst Cook Celebrity edition that I had taped, and we watched the Great British Baking Show that I had taped, and we're working our way through things that have been taped for him to watch when he gets home with me. So when I do that, I can work on it, because then I'm not using my iPad, but otherwise it's really, I'm an idiot for not having printed out the pattern, and I'm so far into it at this point, it's like, why print out the pattern? I can just use... So it's my own head psyching me out. I would like to get it done. I think this one and the mitts are going to be my main thing I focus on at home. This, the mitts, and the socks, and then the other two I'll probably just take with me. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not there yet, and I'm very indecisive, and yeah, but I want to get this finished because I do want to wear it, and I've been working on it for forever. The other thing is it's fingering weight, and I don't know why that's such a hardship, because I have several fingering weight sweaters lined up, and sport weight isn't that much bigger than fingering weight, but for some reason I seem to think it is. So that's everything that is in my whip basket right now. So I'm actually doing really good cutting them down and getting them done. I mean, I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm really, this is not bad. I'm quite proud of myself. Okay, so with everything in there that's not a blanket, it is no longer huge. It is no longer which is what it was doing before, when I had the Pomme de Pin and the Marco Polo and the Desert Vista Dye Works all in there. Oh, and the other socks I was knitting. So I've finished a lot this last month, and I'm really pumped with myself for it. So, yay team. And the lip shaming, not so shameful. What else do I have here? I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. If you only like knitting and you don't care about sewing, this is probably the portion where you're going to want to go, because I do want to get through some sewing stuff I've picked up, and I'm looking forward to more sewing in the winter here. Probably not until the new year, but I've worn my dress that I made several times, the Meridian dress, and I want to make another one of those, and I would like to take the serger class I have finally. Now that I have the husband home. You may wonder why it's important to have the husband home. Well, I was nursing a sick pet who needed round-the-clock care 24/7, who passed away, and then I went to Canada, and now I have 2 new pets, both of whom have their own issues and need their own things. They're both in good health, but they came from bad situations, so they are stabilized and they are fine, but the pupper does get separation anxiety. We're working with that. It's not that bad, so we should be fine. We recently found out she reverse sneezes. And if you've ever had a dog so with Bebop, because, side tangent, before I get to the sewing, if you don't care about this, I understand. Have a great and happy end of the year. I hope your holidays are great. I hope everybody's Hanukkahs were wonderful, Kwanzas, and if you're into Christmas, happy Christmas, Merry Yule, whatever you need. And I will see you next year. If you care more about my rambling, my life, and my sewing, then let's continue onward. So Bebop would have panic attack episodes that would lead to heart infarctions, whatever. And he could die, basically. If he started panting and he had a moment, it could lead to a heart attack, which is ultimately what happened when he passed. And so they were always very stressful and very worrisome, and they started with a lot of panting, a lot of shaking. So when and Sassy's had a couple of weird little episodes, and I was very concerned. And the hubby was like, I think it's asthma. And I was like, I was asthmatic as a child. You're right, it could be asthma. And I was like, wouldn't it be our luck that we get the dog who needs something? Well, we'd be the perfect parents anyway, so whatever. We're fine with it. We took her to the vet because she needed Bordetella so that we could board her, and she needed to get new flea treatments, etc. And we wanted to get her tested for heartworm and get her on some anti-parasite stuff, as all good parents do. And so we told her about it, and she said, well, have you seen reverse sneezing? And we were like, what are you on about? So she brought some YouTube videos up on her laptop, and sure enough, it's reverse sneezing. Rather than chew outward, she goes, and it looks really strange, and it lasts for a few minutes, and it's just reverse sneezing. So we have a weird dog, and that is just the way of our lives. But as we're learning everybody, like she hasn't even been here a full month. So, and I think the cat has been here a full month, but I don't think the dog has. So everybody's getting used to everything, and yeah, it's crazy. It's insane, but so it goes. Right, so when I was in Canada back in November, I bought some fabrics. I bought some fabrics for myself, and I bought some fabrics for a friend of mine who had taken me to and from the drop-off points for the transporter, because I left my car at home. And so here are the fabrics I picked up. I would like to make a quilt top out of some of these. So I got 0.38 of a yard of this. And I feel like I'm just, you know what, I'm going to take it out of the thing, because I don't think it matters very much. I'll just leave the thing with it, but I want to show you the pattern because I thought it was so freaking cute. It's origami animals, and it's 100% cotton. Michael Miller Fabrics by Tamara Kate, and it's got, like, look at that lion. I just love this stuff. So yeah, I got 0.38 of a yard of this for myself, and it was super cheap. It was $4.70. So I got a fat quarter of that for my friend. And these ones, these are 20 by 22. All the rest I'm going to show you are 20 by 22. I got them from Periwinkle Quilting and Beyond in Saskatoon. And we've got Psychedelic River Otters. And they're all cotton. They're all quilting cotton, because I was like, I'm just going to get them all. I'm so easily seduced by adorableness. I got Halloween bats. I don't need to take that one out because you can see everything. I got adorable kittens, because who doesn't need adorable kittens? I got feathers, just assorted feathers. I got some Canadiana, which I loved, and hardcore maple leaves. Hardcore. And there's some plaid in there. Lemurs. Lemurs lemering on pink. Adorable little cat people. Birds in triangles. This one I have to take out to show you because it's a bigger print. Cats in relief. Because who doesn't need a bajillion, and that's a moda, who doesn't need a trillion cat fabrics? I do. FYI, animal cribs, there was marathon yesterday, and then the season finale, and they're out of Seattle, and we'd actually looked at Ginger's Pet Rescue for our puppy, and So we were watching it, and I was just like, I need more. I want a baby. I want a kitten. I want a kitten. I want a kitten. I'll get a kitten. And this is, who is this? All's Wool That Ends Wool, designed by Maria Kalinowski for Canvas Studios. How cute are these? I had to have it. So, that one. And that's everything I got in Saskatoon, because, I mean, why don't I want to make a million quilts? I do. I do. And so there's that. And then I got 2 magazines. The first magazine, and I left them in their bags, is Love Sewing. Apparently it's a UK magazine. And I picked this one up. It's got some really cute things in it. It goes up to a 24 in some of their sizes. So, like, I mean, if you go up to a 24, I'm a happy gal. And so we've got this one. It came with 2 patterns. The Butterick Retro. And I think this is why I bought it, because it's adorable. And then the Love Sewing Butterick. This is a skirt set. And I like wearing skirts. And hey, it doesn't take a lot of fabric. Doesn't take a lot of sewing. Which makes me a happy panda, and I like being a happy panda. And then I picked up Simply Sewing, and okay, so there's a batty bat you can make. So you can make a batty bat. I'm in. And that one came with 3 free patterns. I shouldn't say they're free. You get them when you buy the magazine. The Adele dress, which was kind of like part of my reasoning. The Lara set, which can either be a dress or a shirt. It's shown in shirt form there. And the overnight bag, which I also love and would probably just use as a purse. So I picked those out, and I'm looking forward. I want to make these things, but I just need some friggin' time. And now that I have young pets, I have learned that if you want to lay things out on the floor, you have to pre-plan stuff. So I may get a table just for that kind of thing, so that I'm not being attacked and licked and getting played with while I'm trying to do stuff. I don't know yet. But that is everything I have for you today, so I'm going to sign off here, and yeah, I might not see you till the new year, so if I do, I hope you have a great new year, and I hope you get all the knitting accomplished you wanted to. Bye.